Hi, and welcome back to the Modern Hippie Girl podcast. We are already on episode 5. What? Okay, what are we going to talk about today? Today's episode is going to be about blood sugar. And before you skip it, because you're thinking, well, I don't have diabetes, I don't have pre-diabetes, I don't have blood sugar imbalances, I don't have blood sugar issues, stop. You need to listen to this episode because I thought the same thing. I did not know the signs that my body was telling me that I had blood sugar imbalances. And it wasn't until I got diagnosed with gestational diabetes when I was pregnant with my sons that I realized that I had had pre-diabetes before I had my sons. And let me tell you this right now, if you have PCOS, like I did, that is your body's way of telling you that you have too much sugar and that you most likely have prediabetes if you don't already have diabetes. And I just want to preface this right now because most people do not know this. When you're finally diagnosed with diabetes, your body was on its way to getting diabetes for at least 10 years before you were diagnosed with it. So if you have pre-diabetes right now, I'm here to tell you that you can absolutely reverse it. I did. I'm proof. Okay. And I'm going to share with you what I did. I'm going to share with you the signs that tell you that you have some kind of blood sugar imbalances. And why is this so important? Because blood sugar imbalances are, I would say, one of the number one silent killers that is going on in our health world right now. It's hard because we, don't recognize, how to regulate our blood sugar. B, we're not educated on it. And C, we don't even know what's causing it. Most people do not understand anything about blood sugar regulation. So, for instance, if you are waking up between 2 and 4 in the morning, that means that your cortisol is spiking because your blood sugar is tanking while you are asleep between 2 and 3, 2, 3, 4 in the morning, which means that your blood sugar was higher before you went to bed and then dipped below where it should be, the normal range. And so your cortisol then spiked up because it's counteracting that. And then your body wakes up. Okay. So there are so many different signs that your body is telling you, hey, you're getting too much sugar. One of them is when you're eating, a meal and then after you feel so tired. Okay. Let me just preface this right now. Blood sugar does not just spike from sugar. Carbohydrates like bread and tortillas and rice and all of those things turn into sugar in our body. So you might think, well, I don't have a sweet tooth. I'm not one of those people that eats cupcakes and desserts and is like one of those sugary people. That has nothing to do with that. That is one part of it. Okay. So if you are somebody that eats sandwiches at lunch and then eats pasta at dinner, your body is going like this, going like a roller coaster when you are eating meals and your blood sugar balance is unstable. Why is it important for us to keep our blood sugar stable? Because when we have too many spikes on a regular basis, that is how we get on the trajectory to getting type 2 diabetes. Now, there are two types of diabetes. There's type 1, where your body doesn't create enough insulin. And this is something that, has to be regulated with insulin injections. And then there's type 2 diabetes, where your life choices determine if you get type 2 diabetes. But I'm here to tell you that you can absolutely reverse that. Even if you have type 2 diabetes, you can reverse it. It's all about what you're putting in your body, how you're regulating your stress, and if you're actually monitoring your blood sugar. When I was going through my wellness journey in 2023, I actually wore a CGM for about 6 months. And if you guys do not know what a CGM is, it's a consistent glucose monitor. And you've probably seen the commercials for them, or maybe you've even seen somebody in real life where they're wearing them. It looks like a little circle device that goes on the back of your arm. The cool thing about this device is that it's constantly reading your blood sugar to tell you where you're at. So, this is how it works. You eat a meal, and then about an hour and a half to 2 hours after you eat a meal, your body will either stay in a balanced blood sugar number or it will spike. The more we stay in a balanced flat line or just like a little bit of bumps, the better that we stay away from getting type 2 diabetes. But the more that you skyrocket up and then drop down, the higher your chances that you become pre-diabetic and then become type 2 diabetic. So, how do we prevent these types of things from happening? Well, eating in sequence is one of the number one ways that you can do so. If you guys do not follow the glucose goddess on social media or on her podcast, you are missing out. She has so many amazing tips and tricks and education, especially if you are somebody who already is type 2 diabetic or on your way to getting type 2 diabetes. She has a lot of different hacks that really, really, really help you to get your blood sugar under control. I used all of them during my wellness journey because from what I saw on my readings from my CGM, my blood sugar was all over the map. And one thing that I saw the most was that my blood sugar, fasting blood sugar, which is your blood sugar when you wake up first thing in the morning, was always high. And so at that point in time, I was experimenting when I was wearing the CGM because I wanted to see what foods were doing to me. I wanted to see if I ate a cupcake, what it would look like. If I ate a burrito, what it would look like. If I ate perfectly, what it would look like. I wanted to experiment. I wanted to see how my body reacted to things. And it was shocking because things that I thought were really, really good for my body, like brown rice and fruit, things like that, I would see huge sugar spikes from my CGM. And it was just so confusing to me because I thought that if you ate right, you ate like the right things that you're supposed to put in your body, that everything would be okay. And that just wasn't the case. We actually need to be mindful of how we're eating our food. And what do I mean by that? One of the biggest hacks that's out there is eating in sequence, and it should go vegetables, protein, good fats, good carbs, sugar. That's how you should eat in sequence. So if you look at the way that they serve us in a restaurant, we'll eat a salad to start, which is veggies. Then we'll eat our meal, which is usually protein and, carbs and good fats if they cook it in and hopefully they cook it in good fats and vegetables. And then at the end of the meal, what do we have? Dessert. That's exactly how you should be eating off of your plate. You should be eating the vegetables first, then the protein, then the good carbs and the good fats, the good carbs, and then the sweets at the last part of it. Why do we do that? Because you need the fiber that you got from the vegetables at the beginning of your meal to help you to process the sugar that you are eating at the end. That is going to help your body not have as big of a blood sugar spike as it would have had you not done that at all. And so this is one of the things that I teach in my program because Most women are pre-diabetic. Most men are pre-diabetic. We just don't even know it. If you're getting your A1C checked on a regular basis, you might be aware, but then you might not understand how you can reverse it or how you can get it under control. Doctors don't really give you that information. They just tell you, to take metformin or something like that. And it's really unfortunate because it is such an easy thing for us to control on our own. And all we have to do is make sure that we're doing all the right things. But what are the right things? So, another thing that you can do is take a walk for 10 to 15 minutes after you eat, or clean your house, vacuum, do something that, gets your body moving, dance, do jumping jacks and squats. Moving your body and getting your heart rate up and your blood moving is going to be really, really effective for making sure that you don't have a huge blood sugar spike. But why was I having high readings in the morning when I was fasting? Because I hadn't eaten anything for the last, 12 hours. So why was I waking up with high blood sugar rates? Well, if you didn't know this, which I didn't, high fasting blood sugar numbers coincide with having unresolved stress. So if you are in chronic fight or flight mode, more times than not, your blood sugar is spiking while you're sleeping and is still high when you wake up. Our cortisol really starts to amp up when we wake up because, we're going to be, doing things because we're awake now. So if you have chronic stress, it's just going to make your blood sugar higher because stress makes your blood sugar numbers higher than they would have been had your stress been under control. All of these things are stuff that we do not even discuss. We don't talk about. Why is getting your blood sugar under control so important? Once you get type 2 diabetes, you are very susceptible to a lot of different things. One is getting Alzheimer's or dementia because they have now seen that the blood sugar that your rates are you're experiencing when you have dementia or Alzheimer's are so high that our brain is just filled and we cannot do anything about it. So if you get type 2 diabetes, you have a higher chance of getting Alzheimer's or dementia. There are health issues that start to happen, right? Where you start to be on insulin, where your insulin just isn't working anymore. You start to lose limbs. There are just so many different aspects that come along with having high blood sugar. Everything that we put in our mouth and everything that we do to regulate our stress is going to be so powerful in changing all of that. And so for me, getting a CGM for 6 months really, really helped me to understand why I was feeling the way that I was, why I was feeling so tired every day at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, why I was waking up every single night between 2 and 4 in the morning, why my skin was a mess. Having mood swings are a huge sign of having blood sugar imbalances. Brain fog, having weight gain around your belly. I think we don't really have, to be shocked about that. The more sugar you eat, the more belly fat you're going to have. It's just your body's way of talking to you. And so when you start learning how to listen to your body and understand what the signs are, you really, really can make a huge difference in your daily life because now you understand what's triggering you and what the root cause is and how to switch those things and how to make them better. And that's what I needed to learn because I just thought that was getting older. I did not think that there was anything that I could do to possibly make these situations better, I was at a loss. And so as I learned about these things, from experimental situations and from school, I started to realize that so many others were in the same boat that I was and did not understand what was going on either. Are you sick and tired of feeling sick and tired? The Modern Hippie Girl Reset is a 3-phase holistic wellness program designed to help women reconnect with their bodies and create real, lasting health from the inside out. In this program, you'll get precise meal plans, hormone and gut healing protocols, stress management tools, blood sugar balancing tips, and an extensive holistic health education to help you keep your results for life. Plus, there's optional personalized coaching to support you every step of the way. If you've been feeling off, overwhelmed, or stuck, this is how we'll get back to feeling like your best self again. Check out all of our programs at modernhippiegirlwellness.com. In my program, I have a whole video where I just talk to you about blood sugar regulation and all the things that you need to do, the way that we eat in my program, the way that the meal plans are set out, how you eat, when you don't eat, every single thing is thought out and has a reason why we do it that way. Because one of the main things that we are going to do, and one of the things you have to do in order to have hormonal balance, is have your blood sugar under control. And so I'm going to not only teach you how to do that, but I'm also going to help you keep your results and educate you to be able to listen to your body and understand that when you're seeing certain signs, what's happening. And that's the kind of guidance that I was looking for when I was going to the doctors and asking them to do blood tests and asking them what they can do to help me. And they were literally at a loss. They could not tell me one thing that I could do except for go on a prescription to change these things. That was so frustrating because the numbers were there. My blood sugar, my A1C was high enough that it was apparent that I was in the pre-diabetic range. But all they told me is that until you are actually diabetic, there's nothing we can do. Once you are, we'll put you on, medication that can help you, I don't even know what it does. Does it regulate you? No, it doesn't make your numbers come down. It doesn't make anything better. It just puts a band-aid on it. So now you think that you can eat more sugar because your insulin isn't going up as high. And then in turn, your diabetes is just getting worse and you're on more insulin and you're more on the trajectory of getting Alzheimer's and diabetes. Like, every single time you get put on a prescription, all you're doing is putting a Band-Aid on your body to be open to getting put on another prescription for something else that wouldn't have happened had you just addressed the root cause and healed your body. But because you put a Band-Aid on it, we didn't understand that it was just getting worse and worse and worse. And now something else happened and something else in your body shut down. And now you need to be on a prescription for that. It's a vicious cycle. This is why root cause healing is so vital and important, because it's the only way to actually get to a better place. And so I actually have my clients do a blood sugar test that they do for 3 days so that they are seeing how their blood sugar numbers look after they wake up in the morning, after they eat their meals, and what is causing their body to have spikes. It's so important for you to understand your triggers. I can't stress that enough. Because for me, I thought that I was eating well enough that I didn't have to worry about these things. But my stress was so unregulated and I was in fight or flight mode so chronically that no matter how well I ate, because I will tell you right now, you can eat perfectly like I was, balanced plates. You got your 4 things. You got your protein, your good carbs, your veggies and your good fats. But if you are in chronic fight or flight mode, your blood sugar is still going to spike from your meals, which then takes you on the trajectory of getting type 2 diabetes. So imagine how frustrating it is when you're eating correctly and working out, but your blood sugar is getting worse and worse and worse, and you're on your way to getting type 2 diabetes, even though you're doing all the right things. So that's why in my very first education podcast, I talk about stress, because stress is like the underline of everything. We need to be managing our stress constantly. So I wanted to get on here and talk about blood sugar regulation because I don't think we understand it enough. I don't think we understand the severity of it enough. I don't think we even know where to start. I don't even think we understand that there's hope, that there's anything that we can do to reverse it, that we can live a good, healthy life again, because nobody talks about it. So I'm going to talk deeper in another podcast about all the things that we can do to regulate our blood sugar and how you can really, really dive deep into really taking the reins on your health. But if you're looking for help right now, you have my reset program that can help you with that right now. You have my holistic health guide where you can DIY it and read it all on your own and figure it out yourself. Having these tools are so key for making long-lasting change in your life and for making sure that you keep your results for life. Do not put blood sugar on the back burner. You should, I would say, everyone should get a CGM and wear it for a minimum of 90 days. I did levels. If you guys don't know who Dr. Casey Means is, I love Dr. Casey Means. She owns Levels. Dr. Mark Hyman had used her company too and suggested it, and that's why I did it. Some people do have the ability to get a CGM through their doctor, but most of the time you have to already have diabetes in order for them to approve it. I had to pay for it out of pocket because I was only pre-diabetic. If you cannot afford a CGM, because I believe they're a couple $100s a month, it's so telling and it goes right to your phone and it makes it so much easier. You don't have to think, it just does it all for you, and it alerts you when you have high blood sugar and it just does everything for you. So worth it. You can also just do it by yourself and take your blood sugar manually and keep track of it. It's not hard. It's just takes consistency and effort. So you want to go that route, but I highly recommend getting a CGM, seeing what your readings look like for 90 days, see what's triggering you, and really start to make shifts in your life to make sure that you can have your blood sugar be on the straight and narrow and not be skyrocketing every day. Go to the Glucose Goddess's Instagram and look at all of the graphs that she has. Shocking. And she's somebody that has regulated blood sugar. So if she's getting these spikes from eating foods that we eat every single day, what are other people who don't have regulated blood sugar seeing? You should know that. So either get a CGM or get a blood sugar testing kit off of Amazon, like $15 or something like that, and see for yourself. It is so worth it. And you don't have to do it for a long time. Just do it, I don't know, for a week. Take it when you wake up in the morning, within, 10 minutes, an hour and a half to 2 hours after you eat your meal for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That's it, the 4 times, okay? Do that for a week and see the way that your blood sugar is spiking after you eat. your blood sugar should be around max 120 after meals. And when you wake up in the morning, I would say ideally it should be at about 85 to max 100. And then you're still in the good range. You can Google it. You can Google a chart that says this is ideal, this is normal, this is bad for blood sugar numbers. If you just want to see something like that, I'll link one in the show notes so that you can see which one I use. I also have a blood sugar sheet where you can keep track of all your stuff. I'll link that in the show notes as well. This is what I give my clients. So it's really, really easy to do, but it's definitely worth it and definitely telling. So anyways, I know that wasn't a sexy episode, but I'm telling you, if you can get your blood sugar under control and your stress under control, your weight's going to drop, you're going to sleep better, your inflammation's going to go down, your stomach is going to start to feel better, you're going to have more energy. There's so many amazing benefits to regulating your blood sugar. All the crap that we feel where we feel off is because our blood sugar is off and not balanced. So anyways, thank you so much for listening, you guys. I will see you in the next episode. Bye.